So as you guys already know, with second anniversary update, Pure Vanilla and Hollow has received an insane amount of buff, allowing them to be pushed up all the way to the top of the tier list, and the entire arena meta is actually revolving around them currently. And with Frost Queen receiving a buff earlier on, we actually have 3 legendary cookies who are going to be used inside of the arena, including Frost Queen, Black Pearl, as well as the newly added Moonlight. However, with that, naturally, there are going to be cookies who are going to get forgotten as well as pushed off the meta, and we're going to be talking about those cookies right now. Let's get right into it. So I'm sure you guys already know who I'm going to be talking about, and that is going to be right now Dark Cacao, as well as, honestly speaking, the worst out of them all, Sea Fairy. Alright, so these 2 cookies have been completely pushed out of the meta, to be honest, and they are not going to be used inside of a lot of the different game modes right now, especially Sea Fairy with her lack of, uniqueness in her skill, and only having this 2-part damage as well as a 3-second stun. She is probably going to be the worst legendary, as well as the ancient, or the combining of the 2 rarity. She's probably going to be absolutely the worst right now, although her damage still is going to be really, really strong. Of course, Dark Cacao is still being used inside of the World Exploration in order to take advantage of the insane amount of damage he's able to do as a pretty much a charged tank, and as well as the debuffs that he's able to do with the defense down, attack down, as well as the injury with the zap, preventing cookies or enemies from having their shield. So if you guys look right here, guys, look at the skill. All right, look at the skill description. And then let's go into Moonlight's, the newest legendary skill description, and you can see a big difference, as well as, Pure Vanilla, as well as Hollowberry has also received a lot of different things compared to what they have gotten before. And already, you guys have been talking about it, and Sea Fairy definitely needs a buff in order for her to be used again. And who knows when that buff will come, but I'm sure that Dev Sisters have been looking at this, and they are probably starting to slowly try to find out a way for them to buff Sea Fairy to fit the current meta. And I'm sure that they are going to be giving Pure Vanilla as well as Hollowberry a way for them to, enjoy the meta a little bit before that changes. But because of the nature of the game where, we have a natural restriction that has been applied to the arena, where it only allows up to 3 legendary as well as ancient cookies, we are not able to use the ones that are going to be really, really lacking, who are going to be right now Dark Cacao as well as Sea Fairy, because of the fact that, Hollowberry is such a strong tank, as well as we do need to have a good DPS like Black Pearl as well as Moonlight, and of course Frost Queen if you guys are going to be using a Sherbet Frost comp. And with Pure Vanilla now being an insane healer, all right, and pushing BTS kind of out of the the #1 place as the main healer, and holding that main healer title now in the arena, there really is no place for Dark Cacao as well as Sea Fairy to come into play. And on top of that, as a little bonus, I would say for this particular topic, the super epic, out of the super epics, probably right now Clotted Cream is going to be the one that is slightly getting forgotten here, guys. So out of the legendary, it's going to be Sea Fairy. Out of the ancient, it's going to be Dark Cacao. And then out of the super epic, it would probably be Clotted Cream that are going to be forgotten and needs slightly a different buff, or the meta needs to change a little bit, all right, in order for them to actually be used. But out of them all right now, the hardest one that is going to be able to adjust to a meta is probably going to be Sea Fairy, just because of her skill. All right, so for me, I would personally say the thing that's gonna really change Sea Fairy is gonna be allowing her to have some sort of different utility, or a different skill, which may allow her to have a different unique debuff with Sea Fairy's skill. So maybe like a wet debuff, or like a super big slow debuff after she uses her skill, instead of just a regular stun, which can now be easily blocked or shortened because of the amount of debuffs as well as skills that are going to kind of prevent stuns from happening. All right, so right now I would personally say that Sea Fairy needs something, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do agree with it. And with now Moonlight being out into the game, I will personally say that it's probably going to be happening soon once the summer rolls through, and when her anniversary comes around. Dev Sisters are probably going to be adding a different skill or a different buff, just like how Pure Vanilla and Holiday received for our Sea Fairy. And probably they're going to make it a little bit more future proof in order for them to allow, Sea Fairy to be in and out of the meta depending on the epic cookies and depending on the meta and depending on the skills that are going to be used inside of the meta. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about the current state of Dark Cacao, Sea Fairy, as well as Clotted Cream. Do you think they deserve a buff? Who do you think that deserves a biggest buff? And what kind of buff maybe possibly that you guys may be able to think about for these particular cookies? Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.